So there was a poll out for the Georgia Senate race for the seat currently held by Democrat John Ossoff, and the Atlantic Journal-Constitution did this poll. Now, if you followed me for any length of time, remembering back to the 2024 election, I don't trust polls. They had been wrong considerably, and I thought they were wrong going into that election. But I do find this interesting that this poll came out and did a test of different Republicans versus John Ossoff in Georgia for that Senate seat. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene, the MAGA congresswoman from Georgia, who somehow keeps getting reelected, is very popular in her district, and she's been kind of testing the waters about an idea for a potential Senate run by holding more rallies outside of her district, talking on bigger platforms, sounding like she is considering, at least without actually saying it. Nobody has announced for that Senate seat yet on the Republican side. We are assuming John Ossoff is running for re-election on the Democratic side. Now, in this poll, it showed 54% of respondents would be willing to vote for Ossoff if he was running against Marjorie Taylor Greene. Whereas if Brian Kemp, the current governor of Georgia, ran against Ossoff, it was within the margin of error. 49% for Kemp, 46% for Ossoff, with a little over 3% margin of error. So pretty much it would be a coin flip. Whoever runs against Ossoff in Georgia, if it is a bad candidate, is giving Democrats a chance to retain that seat. This is a seat that Republicans are hoping to flip and maintain their lead in the Senate. They are hoping this could be a pickup. Now, I think Ossoff has a good chance of getting reelected. He seems very popular in the state. And Georgia is leaning purple. They are a swing state. They are not heavily red like they used to be. They currently, yes, have a Republican governor, but they do have two Democratic senators. So we will have to see how that plays out in 2026 during those midterms. But right now, it looks like Marjorie Taylor Greene would lose against John Ossoff. And out of all of the Republicans that were in the poll, she was last. So maybe we could get lucky. Maybe she could run for that seat, and then Democrats would have an easy retention there. Now, of course, anything could happen. We don't know how elections play out, but I think anybody who is tied to Donald Trump on the Republican side coming up into the midterms is going to have a hard time getting elected for any position, whether it's Senate, whether it's House. Certain seats are going to be safe, but we will have to keep an eye on the Georgia Senate race going into 2026.